need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get? I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't. What the fuck am I gonna do? Oh, fuck. Oh, oh, fuck. Oh, God. Breathe.
Um, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of ATP Live. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and ATP Live is exclusively on the ATP network. And catch the ATP Live, um, catch the ATP network on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Twitter. And also, too, um, like the video if you haven't already. It helps us out in the algorithm. It pushes us out. You know, haven't posted in 4 days, which is a big mistake. I usually do my shows Monday through Friday. Um, didn't do tea time because co-host, she's going through a whole lot of shit right now, and I'm just getting her space. And I've been out of town. I've been at a job interview. I did a job interview Monday and stuff. So yeah, I've been busy, and also we on Red Note. That's our usernames right there. If you still use Red Note, TikTok is back. Um, catch us there. Um, yeah, man, that video, man, wow, that video was a lot. Um, obviously that was a few weeks ago. Obviously, I know that, but you know, this woman. Um, before I get to it, like people were saying that this woman voted for Donald Trump. In the video, she never stated that she voted for him or supported him. She never said that. So why it's something that really makes me angry because why people always judge people, cast aspersions on people. Like she never said she voted for Donald Trump, and then she came out again, like um on TikTok and said she did not vote for him. So she probably didn't vote at all. I don't know. Like doing that shit. And at that moment, man, like to realize that orange bastard literally um almost, if it wasn't for that federal judge to block it, and then the White House and his orange ass rescinded on it, thank God. Um, God knows what the hell they'll be at. Her and her family, like her kids. Like she said she don't get enough in food stamps as it is. And then on top of that, you're gonna cut the little bit amount of food stamps that this woman would have. Like she has to go without eating for 3 days just so her kids can eat. To parents that do that, that's a good parent right there in terms of like you care about your kids. Like you shouldn't go out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out without eating either. as a parent, I'm just saying, like, there's so many stories like this, and it gets ignored because people only care about themselves. They don't care about nobody else. Like, this is why mutual aid is important. This is why, RBNs of the world always say that we need to build community, even though a lot of people take that and just, they don't really mean it. They be full of shit, but this is why I take RBN as a high standard. Like, they actually they obviously walk the walk as well. But again, back to the video, like, this is why, again, I'm gonna say this, that poor people are typically in bad health. This is why our lifespan doesn't last long as somebody that's on a higher tier. It's because we always stressed out, man. Like, I have a friend that's always stressed the fuck out. She always anxious. She just financially, it's like you constantly thinking about how you gonna eat, how you gonna provide for your kids. You always thinking about that, and it's totally your body. It really does. Like, stress is a killer, man. Stress is a real killer. Like, the woman was having a panic attack. She said she was struggling to breathe, like, because what that orange bastard did, and it's just like you, you like, to that orange motherfucker. Yeah, I don't like him. Like, I don't have derangement syndrome, but you know, I called out Biden on his bullshit, and I should have the right to call out him on his bullshit. See what I'm saying? So, like, oh man, it's just so much, man. Like, it's like, sometimes you ask yourself, will the world ever get better? Will it get better? I just don't even know anymore, man. I really don't know. And it just, seeing her on the floor, crying like that, man. That video fucking bothers me, man. Like, and God knows what this motherfucker got on his sleeves. Like, he gave Elon Musk keys to the treasury to loot that motherfucker out. So yeah, like, my mom was always say, it's beginning to be a little bit too much. Um, and I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for Trump, but I will say this: like, I hope that video, I hope her as well. I don't know, what political ideology she under. I don't know. That doesn't matter. Um, but I would say this, man. Like, this should wake everybody the fuck up. Like, this video got over 1 million views on TikTok, so should wake everybody up, man. Like, a lot of people say politics don't affect them. Politics is in everything we do. It's impact us in every way, shape, or form. I hate when people say that. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, you going fine now, but you never know what happens in the future. That's why you need to future proof shit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like, I'm glad that they rescinded it, and I'm glad, you know, like, it's just crumbs. Like, you heard she said, like, she's not getting much in food stamps. Jeez Louise, man. Like, did this, like, getting the crumbs that people get, that is means tested, obviously, but like, it's fucking insane, man. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So, um, man, Emma Vigeland versus Anna Kasparian, man. Wow, I'm talking about today, and I'm talking about some other topics. So, stay tuned. Okay, guys, be sure, before I get to this video, like the video. It's free. When y'all like the video, we actually get good views, so, on YouTube and Rumble. So please like the video, guys. It only takes a millisecond. And also, too, guys, I'm a little rusty. Like, this is my first time coming back. So if I sound a little bit off, that's because I got a lot on my mind, and that's why it ain't good to take long breaks from doing stuff like this, because you got a flow going in. Typically, stuff happens and you get interrupted. So yeah. Um, so um, yeah, oh man, she Skulls LC. You know, people always say we told you so. These the same people that defended the squad. Her husband co-founded Justice Democrats, Kyle Kalinske, and Kyle admitted that it was a failure. I'm sorry, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, something video, man. And break it down. Uh, boy, here we go, guys. Let me see.
Interesting comments from AOC, who has become one of the more vocal members of Congress on the Democratic side. I mean, I was just seeing, Sagar, the Democrats apparently just got their act around to do like some press conference condemning the pardoning of January 6th rioters. And we're like, I mean, we're 10 other outrageous moves later. Like, they're just, I don't know. They're a mess. They don't understand the landscape. They don't know what to do. They're totally pathetic in terms of any sort of a fight this time around. I've seen a lot of just like normie Democratic base type people who are loyal, vote blue no matter who, MSNBC types who are furious with the way that the Democratic Party has reacted or their lack of response.
Um, we- so, winning. I hope the Democrat base wakes up to that, but I doubt it. Like they have a case of Trump derangement syndrome, but like they don't give a fuck, man. Like yeah, they do the performative shit of pointing fingers at so and so for why they lost, but they don't care. They going to campaign for Trump. They campaign over Wade. Like they weren't gonna find Roe v. Wade into law. They had the majority. To do it when Biden got in there, he had the majority House and Senate. You know, it. A lot of people say you gotta have 60 votes in the Senate. All ways to do it. Is it was it Kamala Harris the tiebreaker? Their base don't care about nobody but themselves, bro. They care about their donors. The Democrats do. So wake up. Oh God. All right, guys. Oh, sweet.
To Trump 2.0 this time around. So in any case, AOC is one of the people who has asserted herself more. Jon Stewart had her on, and she made some interesting comments about insider trading, but also some interesting comments about Joe Biden on his way out of office being like, oh, there's a problem with the oligarchy. Really? Is there? Tell me more about that. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy, and the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress. Like,
dude, I don't know if I like, do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but like, dude, it is like, that's so crazy.
It's so crazy. It's crazy. I mean, like and this is the thing. It's like people think that everyday.
Crazy about this is like, see, if Kamala Harris won, AOC will not be talking like this, obviously, right? And Jon Stewart right there, he going along with it, but it's like it shows you that people ain't shit. They talk out to both sides of their mouth whenever it benefits them. See, before, I'm all in on Biden, and then Biden lose, and the Democratic Party is in a state of flux, I guess, according to a lot of people, flux. And now, trading is a major problem on both parties, but on AOC, like how do we get to insider trading? How is that a thing? Like again, like I'm pretty sure y'all know this. I'm preaching to the choir at this point, but is it like, oh God, it's like the government is supposed to serve the people, but inside trading is doing nothing but serving the politicians themselves. Like the politicians supposed to work for the people. You know, I know why things are the way they are now, but I'm just saying, like, it's not how backwards shit is, but gosh, man, I tell you what.
People are stupid. I'm like, do you all really think that people don't see this shit? Like,
they sit on a committee, they get information about a drug or a contract or a thing. They immediately make a call. The stockbroker changes things, and their portfolio swells.
Explodes. It explodes.
What are we doing?
And you're doing this on public trust.
Right.
On like taxpayer finance, public, facilities. Like it, of course.
You're regulating the market that you're trading on.
Exactly. And
you
like
run the casino.
And then we're supposed to act like money doesn't only corrupts Republicans? Give me a fucking break. Biden on his way out, it was only on his way out that he was like, this country's controlled by oligarchs. Bye. Like, we could have used that energy a couple years ago.
Accurate on all of that.
I was patrolling the oligarchs, but see what's going on is that it's a safe way, if you do the tape, what's going on is I will control the oligarchs too, but see what's going on is that the Democratic Party fucked me over, so I'm just going just I'm talking out loud. Like everybody in their mama knew that both parties are controlled by oligarchy. Democrats, Republicans, all this, right? But yeah, like first thing I ever see is trying to just just be a third party saying that the only thing they do is run presidential candidates, and then you like election season took off. You and Bernie Sanders, yeah, Bernie Sanders too. They're gonna support Biden and the Democrats, knowing that they don't have no agenda for the working class people. Like y'all supposed to be more to the front list of the Democratic Party, but y'all are the establishment. Like all the squad is the AFC is the establishment, guys. You see what I'm saying? Goodness. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on, guys.
Biden talk. It's like you endorsed Biden, okay?
Not only that,
defended Biden. She
and Bernie actually, they were in the we're all in with Biden here to the end.
They were more with Biden than like Nancy Pelosi. So that's where part of it is just like, shut up, all right?
Well, here's the part to me. I think one of the
Holy shit. Like Biden even before the election even started. Like now you criticizing Biden and the Democrats, and it's just wow. Like you criticize Jill Stein third party for no reason because Jill Stein got more votes within the Palestinian community, the Muslim community. Your friend Biden's chances are winning. Well, at the time he dropped out, Kamala, we know, but it's wild. Like, dude, these people ain't shit. They talk out on both sides of their fucking mouths, bro. Oh, jeez, man.
There's a few points she makes that I think are important. Number one, about the way that hypocrisy is used against Democrats, and understandably so. I mean, she's talking about the insider trading piece Also talking about, you had a lot of people, including Joe Biden, who were like, Trump's a fascist. And then they're like, welcome to the White, welcome home, Donald Trump. And people are not going to believe you next time you raise the alarm about something. If you are not acting like this was really bad that he got elected. And I, still think the things that I said before were true. And this is a real threat. And so, to see Democrats, the way that they by and large responded, which is to be like, yeah, we'll see, and maybe we'll work with them and whatever. It's like, this is a wildly different energy than you were bringing up until 5 seconds ago. So even though your point about her and Biden is a correct one, and it's like, okay, well, where was that energy critiquing him previously? She is right in what she's saying here about, the Democratic response this time around to Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why when you're thinking about how this is all shaping up, I think it all comes to credibility. And say whatever you want about Trump, and he's switched his tune on many issues. But his core thing about immigration and trade, shit's been saying since 1976. He's got a consistency of message, and even when he's inconsistent, it's within his Trumpian MAGA framework. As you always point out, what are the things people like about Bernie Sanders? Basically been saying the same stuff since he's been running for office and was it Burlington mayor. The problem I have here with the AOCs and all of that is you both try to be consistent on the issue. And let's be clear, she actually has been. She co-sponsored that legislation with Matt Gaetz on stock trading. So I'm not calling her out on whatever on this specifically. But she's a capital D Democrat, and that works for her sometimes. But it didn't, when you have that inability to call out your own side when it's happening in the midst of the big existential question of the time. Do we support Biden or do we ditch Biden?
Oh, man, this is where I have to actually agree with Saga said on this. Oh God, you know that your party doesn't give a shit about working class people. But now, again, since the election is over and shit, and Democrats have cooked to Trump to a certain extent. So Trump, so Master Trump is man, you ain't so bad after all, man. This is what the Democrats is. The Democrats would rather fight hard against Bernie Sanders for becoming president than actually win an election. They don't care. In AMC's, saying all this stuff now is just so hypocritical to me. That's why I've been browbeating on. Okay.
I don't know if a lot of people can have a lot of trust with you on this issue. So trust is everything in politics. I mean, why did Kamala at the end of the day lose? Her whole border hawk shtick, people were like, I don't believe you because of all this crap that you said in 2019. I think that you either still are open borders or maybe worse, you don't believe anything. And that's not
the real problem.
That's not a version that vibes with Trump, who has been 100% consistent, at least on illegal immigration, and that's mostly the valence of where people decided to fall with. So with AOC, with a lot of these progressive Democrats, it's I think Biden was poison for them because they both had to defend him, but even in the times when they knew that he was being bad, they had to stay silent. They lost a lot of trust. And so it's it's easy to say when you're out of power. And by the way, of course, this applies to Republicans too, right? This is the eternal problem of the insider-outsider dynamic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see, we're about to play Charlemagne. He's people should be more like AOC. I'm should they? Really? I don't think that she's been a very successful politician over the last 10 years. I would say she's actually one of the most failed politicians of the last 10 years.
I mean, here's
He ain't lying. The guy is fine. She is a failed politician. The only reason why she still got her seat is because she has to book to the Democratic Party to some extent. She can't really be full. If she was full, pro-Palestine, calling out Israel, full time, her seat would be gone. AOC be done. That would happen to APAC. APAC pushed out Cory Bush and Jamal Bowman, I think. They pushed it back. Like, Like money in politics is a cesspool, but that's just the truth. But yeah, overall, like getting things done, like she have like a low approval rating, something like that in Congress. You think I forget what that metric was called, but it's some kind of metric. Yeah, like ain't nothing but a flip flopper. Like no PC abolish race. Like I don't know if I remember that. Like that's when I start locking into politics, which sometimes I regret and wish I'd still be on sports Twitter, but I digress. I'm here now, so. But anyway, yeah, like, oh god, yeah. She's Canadian. She's Canadian. Bernie Cupcakes.
Here's what went wrong for her. She came in as a true outsider,
Yeah.
takes out Joe Crowley, who was, in leadership and close to Pelosi and all these people, and just sort of took a seat for granted. And she comes in and she knocks him out, and it's an earthquake, right? She decides before she's sworn in, she's going to protest outside of Nancy Pelosi's office and make this statement. And there were two different pathways, right? One was to maintain that outsider status and really be that bomb thrower and leverage the social media following that she had and continues to have, by the way, and use that grassroots power against the established Democratic Party power. She, step by step, chose the other path, which was to try to play the inside game. And we just really saw an example of how that.
Yeah. Obviously, when she did that protest outside of Nancy Pelosi's office, which was performative, but Nancy Pelosi came to her and said, "Hey, you continue to do that shit, I'm gonna get your ass up out of here." Then she had to change her tone, Krystal, she played cat, she caping for a little bit. Now, when after that happened, AOC rhetoric changed slowly. Like it was like an incremental shift. Like really to 2020, 2021, when AOC really showed her true colors. Like when she voted for the CARES Act, yeah, that was the end all be all right there. The CARES Act was the biggest transfer of wealth to the top 1%. Like literally subsidizing the top 1%. White people dying of COVID and fucking like lost their jobs and get evicted from their homes and apartments. But yeah, that's but you're supposed to be a progressive. Yeah, let me continue.
That was a completely failed tactic. I mean, she wanted to be ranking member on oversight. And she pledged, reportedly, as part of that, like, if you let me do this, I am not going to primary any Democratic incumbents, which is an extraordinary concession, okay? Extraordinary concession to basically say, like, I'm going to lay down my arms against any critique I have against any of y'all in the Democratic caucus. And they still blocked her and put in Jerry Connolly, who, is literally suffering with cancer and is
Well, it'll see a lesson. Like they don't like you. I mean, they probably more so on you now than the others, but they don't like you. Being a guy that's suffering, like she said, suffering from cancer, that really should not be in Congress. He should be at home getting treatment for his cancer, recovering, being with his family. I just don't understand why people love Kamala so much. I just like if I was sick, I would not be working. Like, but whatever. Like, everything that they wanted her to do. So, Biden, um, change your stance on everything. Like, don't talk about Medicare for all anymore. Like, she did everything, and she still got double cross, which she deserves it. Like, I don't feel bad for AOC. Like, I'm not a part of the Democratic Party. I don't even give a fuck. But I'm just saying, like, I don't feel bad. Like, you did this to your fucking self. Oh God.
Aged. It's and nobody's idea of a firebrand, right? Nobody's idea of a firebrand for a position that actually made sense for AOC, because oversight, it's all about like getting that clip that goes viral and sharing it on social media, whatever. It really was a good position for her within the context of the Democratic Party, even in that she's black.
I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let it play. Like, we didn't get AOC in there for a committee seat. Like, that's one thing I just don't understand. Like, we got you in there because you proclaimed that you were going to fight for the working people, for the people that don't have no say. Like, that's why, you're supposed to be like with Cal Kalinske clan. You're supposed to be you and other people, the squad. Y'all supposed to be the Tea Party, the left Tea Party. But y'all turned out to be just want committee seats and magazine articles and book deals and y'all want all the fancy stuff that comes with this. And yeah, like, yeah, that's when that's why you should not be in the duopoly. That's why like the duopoly does it to you. It pulls you in, they might make threats to you if you're a little bit radical, too radical for them. But they pull you in, they give you all of the book deals and all of the magazine articles in the New Yorker and all these other sites, other platforms. And then it turns you into, I'm a kid for Biden, even though he's a shit. Right. Amen.
Blocked. So I think you're right, Sagar, that ultimately the test will come. Like, now it's kind of comfortable to have these critiques of, look, Joe Biden is done, he's out. It's all easy to see in retrospect the way this all went sideways, et cetera, et cetera. Are you going to have that energy when it's difficult, when it goes against where the party is and what they're doing? Because that's when it really counts. Like, we could have used that voice back when the Democrats were like, we're just not going to have a primary. Forget about the like Biden Kamala thing, because I think you could justify that when it turns out that Kamala actually on economics was going to be worse than Biden, like with regard to antitrust, SEC, crypto, possibly labor was not going to be as good as Biden. You could justify it from an ideological.
Hey, Krystal saying that though. So people saying that Kamala will be better than Trump. People saying it right there, like Kamala is worse than Biden. Either way that we voted for Trump or Biden, like, we still will say this. Like, I don't think she will freeze federal grants and shit like that. But like woman's situation in that video I showed you earlier, like, she'll still be, even with the snack or whatever, she still will be going hungry with Kamala in there. Like, like, say Trump and shit, Kamala shit at the same time. I'm not for either side, like, but like, yeah, Krystal.
Perspective, even though Biden obviously is too old, blah, blah, blah. But the real moment was back when Democrats said, we're going to cancel the primary. We're not going to have any debates. We're not going to have any choice. And that there was none of that energy from anyone at that point. So I think that is the question. If she wants to, and I think she does, if she wants to be a actual leader of a reformed, different Democratic Party, she's going to have to say things like this when it is difficult, when it is uncomfortable, when it requires her to bump up against her friends and colleagues in this institution. We teased the Charlemagne clip, so let me go ahead and play it. But he's been interesting also in the aftermath. I mean, he's very frustrated with the Democratic Party for a whole variety of reasons. But it was interesting to hear him pick up on AOC at least having some fight in her. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
And don't get me wrong, you should be angry at people suddenly making nice with Donald Trump. But instead of Snoop and Nelly, what about the Democratic politicians who spent 4 years calling Trump the new Adolf Hitler and then started doing stuff like this?
President Biden, welcoming his successor to the White House, observed all the traditional niceties.
Joe Biden greeting Donald Trump at the White House with 2 words: welcome home.
There were smiles, there were handshakes. I mean, there was a real respect between the two.
This moment between former President Barack Obama and President-elect Donald Trump has gone viral.
You know what, though? Like, I made a TikTok video about this. Like, birds of a feather flock together. Like they like each other, man. Like behind the scenes, like people don't know this. Like if y'all knew watching me, I'll tell y'all a secret. Um, the reason why they snicker at each other, Democrats and Republicans, because they want us to be divided. Well, not me. They want you guys to be divided. They want you guys to be divided. They want to keep us divided because they know if we all come together, like all of us, no matter what party you voted for, like we have a lot in common. Like we all are struggling some way, shape, or form. Like it's different things. Like we all have our issues. Maybe we're struggling with healthcare. Maybe we're struggling with finances. Maybe we're struggling with this, this and that, for example. But this is who they really are, right? I don't care. Like, you see, like, you don't hate Trump. Hate Biden. Hate Obama. Like, did Obama had Trump at the White House doing one of his that White House dinner thing under the 2012. Like, they hate each other. Like, they just do that shit for the show, and people actually taking that shit, absorbing it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us fighting against these, well, the billionaire oligarchs and these sons of bitches, we fighting against each other. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. That's what the system wants. They use these as proxies. Like these people ain't got no power. The power is within the 1%. Like they control our government. Like but that shit, Musk's doing, and everybody's so it's more. Yeah, man. But this thing, like, this is nothing new. They basically like Trump's into across the world. And Trump basically people like this stupid they do these politics shit. Like that. But let me tell you, man. I want them that guys.
They chuckled like old buddies. Trump even made Obama laugh.
I'm sorry. If you tell us someone is Hitler, you at least have to act like he's Hitler. I know when Barack got home, Michelle was like, he hell. So Hitler got jokes, huh? In fact, here's the energy I wanted to see more of on Monday.
All these journalists are like, Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Are you going to the inauguration? Let me make myself clear. I don't celebrate rapists. So no, I'm not going to the inauguration tomorrow.
See? Yeah. That's right.
I mean, like, wow, like, whip the freaking dude, yeah, she's doing that now to cater to the little bit of base she got. Like, pretty sure that LC mostly based like the progressives, like the far left people that supported her are gone. So now she's got the liberal base that likes her now because she supported they buddy Biden, her buddy Biden too and stuff like that. Like, oh God, like maybe be surprised 4 years from now, let's say if another Republican wins, like because the Democrats is not gonna win for a long time. Like, yes, now like Trump doing a lot of anti-working class shit. Like, but down the road, people gonna forget that he even froze temporarily the federal grants and stuff. We gonna forget all this shit because people are people and they forget shit and they move on with their lives and they have short-term memory. Like, I mean, like, okay, like, yeah, let me continue.
That's right. That right there, that's backbone. That's principles. Man, I'm going to miss AOC when she's deported to Nicaragua.
Now, whether or not you particularly agree with that critique, Sagar,
Cringe as hell.
think about the difference, though, between
Well,
Joe and
cringe.
Mika, who spent all this time and made lots of money and got super famous, comparing Trump to fascists and, yes, Nazis. And then immediately he's elected, and they're like, oh, we're going to make nice, and we're going to go down to Mar-a-Lago, blah, blah, blah. Versus, listen, she's been consistent on this, and she is acting the way you would act if you actually believe the things that you said. And that's the piece of this that I think is important, is, Democrats have by and large decided that like the thing to do in this moment is just to like sort of be quiet and see what happens, and in certain respects like capitulate to him, etc., thinking then that will gain them credibility with the country. But I think that's the completely wrong calculus, because we all remember the things you said, and you need to act consistent with those threats that you lay down and you claim to believe in. So I think Charlemagne is correct about that.
I don't think that they really do. I don't think that they really do believe it. I think they only believed one thing, that this resistance and to the extent all the rhetoric and everything, it was always fake. It was always just about getting elected. They didn't believe in it. They didn't believe.
Yeah. Real. Back in 2017, 18, nothing but performative shit just to get elected, which I think that's the lesser reason why. It's the campaign off of it. Like this is their goal. Like the Roe v. Wade got overturned. They campaign off of it. It wasn't even like 10 minutes, and it was already ads, emails, these politicians saying that you can get it. Still need, real big ass, still need, to me, can, help fix Roe v. Wade. These people actually gave the Democrats millions of dollars, man. Like, oh God, imagine that millions of dollars will go towards mutual aid. Like, people should moan about me promoting somebody's cash out because they need help with groceries or some shit. But they're quiet when it comes to people giving money to politicians and stuff like that. I just don't understand. Did we? It's just should be backwards. It just it really makes my brain explode. But you try to stay cordial. So a few more minutes of this, man, and then I'm gonna get to the next story.
Believe in healthcare. They didn't believe in whatever, right? Almost all of it was just to get themselves either elected, to win some midterms, to keep control of power, and then eventually around Biden, it was like to worship this cult of personality. And so really what's been revealed is they don't believe anything. Really what I think that they did believe is that Trump was democratically illegitimate. That was really it. Like that was their core belief that they could sell to the country. The reason why they're so in shambles is that obviously that's just no longer a case that you can advance. So now what? And look, it's exciting, I think, if you're a Democrat, because you're like, wow, everything's up for grabs. You have the lowest party ID in a national century. Like you have so many different ways that you could think about, who we are and what's next. But it's also, like you said, if I was one of those MSNBC people, these are normal folks, and I don't begrudge them, they're our fellow citizens. A lot of them did believe it. And so it's humiliating for them in some ways to look at this and to see what it really is. And I would tell you guys got taken for a ride. They never believed any of this stuff.
I think they know that.
I hope you.
Yeah, I think we ended right there, man. But yeah, Democratic constituents that voted for Biden and voted for AOC, you've been used. I think that's why people are waking up more and more. And that's why David Pakman and these other Democrat sipping YouTube channels that pretend to be left, which is disgusting. Like, I would rather for them say, hey, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat by nature. I support Biden. I love the Democratic Party, but they pretend themselves to be on the left, which is, oh God, this is why I don't like shows anymore. But it will be the same thing in 2026. gonna be the same thing in 2028. Democratic Party don't give a shit about you. Republican Party don't either. I had to say that as well. AOC saying this shit now, but if the Democratic Party get back in power, she gonna be quiet again, and she gonna cape for whoever the fuck else running for president. And they say AOC might run for president in the future. That's not gonna work because because I don't think the Democrats is gonna run a woman anytime soon. Everybody is getting rid of DEI these days, so AOC will be definitely a DEI candidate. Like Kamala Harris was one, Obama was one too. Like Democrats are doing DEI before DEI became a thing back in 2020. So I just have a little humor there, right there. So. Oh wow, man, that was longer than I thought. But hell, I haven't streamed in 4 days, so yeah, I guess I had to get that out of my system. All right, guys, before I get to the next video, like this video, like the live stream. Go click your damn thing. And also on the button, like we on Red Note. Red Note is a good platform, man. It's peaceful over there. It's no trolling, no bullshit. Just people, no with each other. So co-founder, founder, our usernames right there, follow us. I need to start posting more shit on there. Because I'm just so sick of Twitter. But let's get to the next one. Let me share my screen here. This is interesting coming from a journalist. It says journalist warns that purge at the FBI CIA could lead to next 9/11. Wow. Oh boy. I mean, should get rid of FBI because I guess the FBI is woke. In my opinion, the reason why he's at odds with the FBI is because they raided Mar-a-Lago for classified documents that he's since took out of the White House, like those classified documents, and then yeah. So here we go, guys. Oh, jeez.
Trump's efforts to downsize the government, even the CIA, and put more people in these positions who are closely aligned with his view. I'm joined tonight by the veteran journalist, Garrett Graff. Garrett, on this, I mean, what do you make of this? What was your initial reaction to this report from the Wall Street Journal?
I mean, it is as shocking as any other development that we are living through right now. One of the things I think is one of the only truths that we have in the Trump era is the inconsistency of the logical consistency of one announcement to another. For a lot of reasons, you could imagine that on the same night that you are announcing that the U.S. might take over Gaza, you would not want to gut the intelligence agencies that help us understand that part of the world and mitigate risks to the United States here and abroad, on the same day that you are also looking at neutering the FBI's entire counterterrorism program here at the homeland. That, for instance, some of these decisions in one category might have downside risks in another.
Can I ask you about part of this? Because a CIA spokesperson said that this move was part of an effort to infuse the agency with renewed energy as they...
Honestly, it's about this. Oh, because Trump trying to downsize the FBI. I guess he's insinuating that we could be a terrorist terrorism. Well, you talking about terrorism abroad, which I mean, 9/11. Let's just keep it 100. 9/11 was an inside job. It happened too smoothly, in my opinion. Like it happened too smoothly. Like them just taking over the cockpit so easily. Al Qaeda and all that stuff. I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm pretty sure y'all know a lot about that. But the mental terrorism, if we're talking about that, like in terms of like the Proud Boys or some wacky ass mental unstable freaks, like the FBI did a good job at in the first place of so I don't know, man. I let it play. Oh jeez.
they put it. And they also said that Trump's CIA will have a greater focus on the Western Hemisphere, targeting countries not traditionally considered adversaries of the United States, saying, for example, they could use the CIA to use espionage to give Trump more leverage in his trade negotiations, potentially spying on Mexico's government amid the ongoing spat.
I think quotes like that show how little any of the people involved in this actually understand the mission of any of these federal agencies. That the CIA and other intelligence agencies within the United States, like the part and parcel, the opening ante of what they do is help inform the president's negotiations with foreign leaders. I mean, this goes all the way back to, the Snowden revelations, where we were monitoring Angela Merkel's cell phone. Like this is some of the most basic work that the CIA is already doing, and I can tell you, because I have spoken to former officers who are involved in this, but like that's exactly the type of work that the CIA is already doing.
Which Trump knows about because he brought up the Merkel surveillance to her face at a press conference in his first term. I remember it in the East Room where he was today. What happens if everyone at the CIA takes this buyout? Because we heard today, I think it was 20,000 people in the federal workforce had already taken these offers of buyouts. If the entire CIA, let's just say, for example, that they did, what does that look like?
Hey, is it like kind of defunding the FBI CIA? Like the CIA does more like spying on average American Jew schmoes, like either they like political ideology, like I know they spying on my ass. They spying on other leftists that does this space as well. But yeah, like I agree with this. Like the funding the CIA FBI, like kind of do. Since it's like, the same FBI that you I gotta watch what I say on YouTube. Recommends like tons of yeah, get back to it.
Tomorrow.
I mean, nothing good for the United States, and that's true, at any one of these agencies. These workplaces, I think, I think part of the challenge of this is understanding that the goal here is just the chaos and the wreckage. That I don't think that there is any grand plan beyond these buyouts. It's certainly not a cost-cutting measure to throw away decades of experience and millions of dollars in training that we have invested in these workforces. But any one of these federal agencies is like any other workplace. There's a very small number of people on whom sort of the whole operation lies. I mean, the people who know the institutional history, the people who understand how the systems and the operations work. And when those people leave, the whole thing seizes up.
Yeah, and we're already just talking in the last segment about FBI workers who are suing the government because they feel like they're being unfairly targeted and about to have a mass purge. Kash Patel, as we're watching, basically everyone Trump is lined up on Capitol Hill get confirmed, despite initially thinking maybe they all wouldn't. What does that look like, do you think, when Kash Patel takes over the FBI? If he is confirmed?
Yeah, I think the challenge is I've covered the FBI for almost 20 years at this point. The FBI that I have covered my entire reporting career, the FBI that has existed since the day that J. Edgar Hoover died in May 1972, is already over. That institution is already dead. And we are arguing right now over the wreckage of what it might be when it is rebuilt at some point in the future. And I think that this is
from him. Yeah, the FBI reputation is shot to shit. It's been shot to shit. Like, yeah. He's not alone. Like, like these institutions, man, it's just so it's levels of corruption in all of these institutions, man. Like, I mean, what else? What else can you say? I mean, like, do you actually think the FBI do things to keep us safe? The CIA does things to keep us safe, or they do things to, they want to like And like the Hulu 3, for example, I'm glad they got off, but wasn't the FBI the same people that charged them because they thought they were working with Russia? So turns out that wasn't even true. So yeah, like the FBI is a cesspool.
But what does it look like for the next 4 years? I mean, they very clearly have plans that are being, if you don't like Trump and you're watching this is not the chaos of round one in these initial weeks. Like, we're just in the third week now, 2 weeks in. They're well executed, and they are carrying out exactly what they said they were going to do. So what does that actually look like, do you think?
Let me give you two very specific examples. It looks like 9/11, and it looks like corruption. It looks like 9/11 because the FBI that is being neutered right now, particularly the agents working on domestic terror and foreign terror involved in these January 6th prosecutions, are exactly the people tasked day in, day out with preventing the next 9/11.
That's a remarkable analysis to see what that could look like. Garrett Kraft, obviously, will stay in touch with you on.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it right there, man. Like, yeah. I literally said, because of if it'll be a next 9/11 because the FBI is compromised. What are you saying? It might be another inside job? Wow. Oh, geez. I mean, what can you say at this point? Yeah, like, I agree with getting rid of some of that defunding the FBI. That's basically what Trump is doing in a sense. But so, yeah, man. So all right, guys. Here we go. Okay, guys. Before I get to the last segment of this video, and that's a lot that I gotta say here. It's a lot that's in here, man. Be sure to like the video. Helps us out in the algorithm. Um, you know, I want us to grow. So, and shout out to Left Indy, man. Like that guy. Me and him will be the forefront of the ATP network. Like, he has a lot to say. I have a lot to say. Hopefully, um, the co-founder of the network, hopefully hopefully things will get better for her mentally wise. Like it's hard if you work in class and in your life situation change and stuff like that. So I tend to want to give people space to get their shit together. So yeah, man. Like the video, man. Support Left Indy. I'm put his links. Donate to Left Indy. He's trying to go overseas to teach English to foreigners overseas and stuff like that. So yeah, support us, man. You support us basically by liking the video. So all right, guys. My Kasparian. Some wild shit, man. Like the drama, man. The drama, the thing online is just it was just time high, man. Like it really started like with the forced to vote stuff because a guy I'm not gonna name for a lot of reasons. He pushed it out and a lot of people didn't like him at the time and a lot of people say now he's pivot to the right. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is what it is. It's not about him. Like people were infighting about that. Infighting kind of died down online for a little bit. A little bit in time, I guess people was in their own echo chambers or whatever. Then now with TYT pivoting to the right, basically, which is it's what they doing. Let's keep it 100, even though they trying to say that no, we need to talk to the right. We need to make amends with them and all this stuff. Even though you talking to white nationalist jank like Charlie Kirk, which is not making amends with nobody. But hey, what can I say? I'm just irrelevant ass um network. So, so um, let's show this first clip here. I got a lot of clips to show y'all. Um, you know, with, with the Emma Vigeland situation with this clip from Francesca Fiorentini. I'm Francesca. I think she's a good person. Agree with a lot of stuff she says. But I still like her. I think she's in good faith. And I'm gonna tweet this too as well. I think that PYT needs to get rid of Jack and Anna because they are both just full of shit and both grifters, in my opinion. I think if you want to keep TYT alive, I think the people that should be ahead of it is JR and Francesca and the other guy. I can't think of his name. Fuck, John Alarola. Yeah, John Alarola. I think those three should be the head of TYT. Like, I think a lot of their viewers will come back, to TYT still get over 6 million subscribers. And I think Jank and Anna every day is just they're destroying something that, the quote unquote left. Well, I don't think they I, I don't even know what the fuck they are anymore. I'm just saying, like, supposed to be a left network, right? I think they're destroying it. I think Anna's full of shit, Jank's full of shit. But I'll start with this clip first because I think it'll add some context to with the tweets and the videos I got. Okay. So this tweet says here, it says Trump comes at you fast. Now I'm gonna play it. It's just 19 seconds. So here we go.
You want to have a beer with people who want to put people in mass deportation camps. They want to deport.
You think we're going to get put in camps? You sound all right.
You want to have a beer with people who want to put people in mass deportation camps. They want to deport.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that clip right there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back. Okay, that's the first clip. Now the second one here, is for Emma Vigeland. A few days later. It says here, hope you guys can see it. It says, gotta love the performative closeness of polymarket populists coming from an ally and movement partner for Franny because she posted Jenks' own words coming from his mouth. Go back to your roots, ranking celebrity camel toes. The shit, man. Like TYT was trying to be what they said, Jon Stewart or some shit like that. They was like mimicking off his like show or something. I don't know. But yeah, they was talking about celebrity camel toes, bro. Like, go do some tweaks that the way that the rest of us oppose fascism. So, this is the video that she's referring to right here. So to make it bigger.
You about this, as if.
Start over again. Here we go, guys.
I know that Francesca Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this, as if Donald Trump is unique. He's novel compared to past presidents, certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before. In her mind, these are the gulags that she was warning about. But in fact, this has been a longstanding practice. You can be against that practice, but Donald Trump isn't doing anything new here.
Yeah, so I'm going to address it. I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that.
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay. Yeah, but continue. Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't mean to.
But she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing if she's not attacking TYT? But anyway, continue, Jane.
Yeah. All right.
I know that Francesca Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this, as if Donald.
That Francesca is gaslighting for clicks and likes. Like they're like doing the same shit. Like it just boggles my mind. Like they think pivoting to the right, talking to white supremacists, white nationalists is somehow even. Now I'm gonna break this down. I played the whole clip in its entirety. yeah, like it's just a few red flags I don't like about this clip, but I'm gonna play it.
Trump is unique. He's novel compared to past presidents, certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before. In her
Now, I believe Francesca knows that other, Obama, Biden, Bush to a certain extent, like all of them have deported migrants. Like we know it. Like Obama built cages. He built those cages that Trump used, right? Like we know this, and we know Biden deported more immigrants this past 4 years than Trump did his first term. We know that, Anna. Like we don't need a re-education from you. Like you're not understanding. Like you're not understanding what Franny was trying to say. Like you're using this as canning fodder at this point. Like come on. Let's just keep it 100. Francesca, like she's becoming more prominent now, and you guys are just on a slow decline, and y'all just want somebody to attack. It's just how it is. But yeah, maybe we could let it continue.
mind, these are the gulags that she was warning about. But in fact, this has been a long-standing practice. You can be against that practice, but Donald Trump isn't doing anything new here.
Yeah, so I'm going to address it. I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that.
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay. Yeah, but continue. Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear
you. How is the clip she used? How is it misleading? It's not. She basically just she's basically saying the truth. Like, who these people, man? I just can't, man.
I don't mean to.
But she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing if she's not attacking TYT?
They disagreeing with what you're doing. And I understand people like you disagree with somebody on something. It's you disagree. Critique is fact. It's like it's God status. Like, give me a freaking break, man. Hey guys, so that was what Anna Vigeland was referring to. From this guy. Okay. Okay. So that's the clip. Now we're gonna go back. Then Anna comes back. That's right. Like, even though she's saying she accusing Granny of being a clout chaser, like this is right here. The clout chasing at its finest, man. It says, I remember Emma telling me verbatim, I never have to work a day in my life if I don't want to because of how wealthy my family is. Your mom threw a nice little fundraiser for Senator Gillibrand in 2019, right? I get why you so attached to a party that's fucked over the working class over and over again. Well, I mean, like the first sentence, she's basically saying that Emma Vigeland isn't serious and that, she's wealthy. Like, I think Emma said that in the past, though. Like, yeah, she's wealthy. Okay. I mean, we know Emma isn't a radical leftist. I mean, it's whatever you call yourself. Like, we know that. Like, I know this. Like, we know that really Emma and Sam Cedar are just squad defenders. Like, they bend their back. That's why ALC goes on to they show whatever the fuck it's called. Jesus Christ. I don't watch that stuff, but yeah. I guess Emma trying to just catch Emma like with a single punch. Like, see, you ain't shit. But let me continue. She says, so I don't really expect her to understand what it's like to live in a neighborhood that's been overrun with criminals due to policies she preaches in the name of gaining social capital. What? Fran did a hatchet job on Jank, even though he was kind enough to waste his time going on her show in the name of openness and understanding. Yeah, right. I knew he was making a mistake. These people aren't interested in building any coalitions. Okay. Building coalitions, okay. They're not open to understanding anything. They don't even give a shit about winning policy goals. Oh my goodness, man. You, literally, the worst thing Jank ever did was open up the company to these people. They came in, leached off what he built, and turned on him for clout the second they could. Okay, also tell me, Emma, since being a sponsor is so unacceptable to you and the four-person company you work for, how many of the dozens of employees at TYT should Jank lay off to appease your judgmental ass? Yes. You know, so she's smearing Franny, saying Franny is clout chasing. She clout chasing off what Jank built. She did Jank built this shit. Well, Franny could have did an approach where she could have just smeared Jank, call him out his name, but she didn't do that. She invited him onto the show. Like Jank is a grown ass man. He can make his own fucking decisions. He seemed like he was controlling. Like who gives you like? Are you Jank's mother? But like Franny didn't smear Jank on the show. Like she just said, hey, I disagree with you on this and that. Like I don't think you should be talking to white supremacists. And Jank took it as elite like to say, oh, you motherfuckers like when Trump first term they said that we should not even engage with the right, but all of a sudden they did a complete 180 saying that understand that I really like that just blows my mind. People just looking both sides of their mouth. Like how people say, well, Andre, people can change, people think differently. I get that too, but to a certain extent, like I don't know, like, but same drifting is it just yeah, it's bullshit to me, man. I'm just let me see. Then right here it says then right here Anna came back at her again. She said, well, you should probably be open about Harris' campaign ad buy on the majority report too. Maybe that's why you were cheering so hard for a woman who shooed away any left wing activists who wanted to ask her legitimate questions about her foreign policy in the Middle East. Now, see, this is controversial because you saying that the Harris campaign um had allies to the majority report. Like, see, this is shit, I make it big. See, this is shit that I hate about people. Like, why you make up shit that you can't prove? Like, according to people, they said that the majority report haven't ran Kamala Harris's ad campaigns in their shows. So why, why circumstantial evidence? Why would you say something like this? I like it just don't make any sense. Like, at least have a video proof. To proof if you gonna make assumptions about people. Like people make assumptions about this other guy. I'm not gonna name his name because I want to open that can of worms. But they could accusing him of doing something gruesome, and I'm like, do you have evidence to prove that this guy doing something gruesome? You're just making assumptions because maybe you don't like the guy. I don't know why. Like I just don't understand. You need to stray away from doing this shit, man. Um, like I mean, I don't care if majority report had advice for Kamala Harris campaign. What's the majority report? That's not my show. I watch other things, but I'm just saying, like, that's a serious allegation. Like you saying that Kamala Harris bought the bought Sam Cedar and and Emma. Like, okay. Now if we go back, it says Then Francesca joins in. She says 1,000%. Nothing but TYT. See, see. Even though I've never been an employee and have an entire career before, yeah, she said that. And after and outside of it, and I actually did do a hatchet job, and I actually do a hatchet job on Shank. Everyone, please prove Anna right and see how much I deliberately manipulated this interview. Like, the interview was good. Like, Freddie, you asked him questions, he responded. Like, interviews will like go a little bit off the rails. Like, it's normal. Like, we human. We so entrenched in something important to us. We go, but nothing malicious or nothing like that. Like, she worked for MSNBC, National Geographic, I think. And she's a comedian too, so she do stand-up comedy. So she has a job. Like, she does things like she like pull her up from the trenches. Like, she's already out there going to work. One of the companies of Anna and Jenkins, like, we made these people and they because they didn't we lost. Jeez, man. Jeez Louise. Yeah, man. So, let me see. What else, man? Then oh, man, like, yeah, I got this shit bookmark, man. It says, "Have you lost your mind?" Mm. Oh my God. He said, "Have you lost your mind?" Then here it says, "This is 100% unlegitimate, absolutely. Let's make a polymarket bet on it." Just kind of want tweets in he is a person. Like, oh my goodness gracious, like, yeah, like, that's a lie. Like, that's slander. That's defamation. Like, I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna do shit about it. But like, yeah, making assumptions about people like being by political like campaigns is kind of, it's just a little bit over the edge. Again, like, let's have some evidence to prove your fucking point before you cast aspersions. Like, I just don't get it. Like people accuse my friend of SAing somebody, my guy friend of SAing somebody, and they don't like, and they don't have no evidence. Like, just I just don't understand why people do this shit they do. But now I'm finna get okay. I'm done with Twitter. Now I'm finna get to this Emma and Franny interview on Franny's YouTube channel. Let's see. Yeah. This is the part where they really start discussing the Anna and Jank situation, mostly Anna situation, but here we go, guys.
Right. Well, I mean, you're trying to make a living on the internet, and we have to use social media, and I don't.
And once again, I am a multimillionaire, so I just want to, name that.
Forgot
Richies, and that obviously didn't sit well. Jank actually kind of took it on the chin. He just said it was out of context. It was not out of context. Everyone can go back and look. He said that I was talking about Chinese Americans. I actually never mentioned Chinese Americans until after. I didn't even say Americans. I just mentioned Chinese people because undocumented Chinese people are a target of this administration.
Mm-hmm.
The point is this. I want to separate from here on off. Let's detach the Jank cart. Let's just bye-bye. And let's talk about Anna. Anna Kasparian, again, a co-host at TYT, got very mad and said that I am attacking Jank and sort of, stood up for the we over there last week.
Francesca Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this as if Donald Trump is unique. He's novel compared.
She said attacking. Like, ain't gonna be like attacking you because disagreements are attack. Only people, man. Only people. That's all I answer with that.
to past presidents, certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before. In her mind, these are the gulags that she was warning about. But
also never said gulags. Yeah, a special kind of evil, never said that.
in fact, this has been a long-standing practice. You can be against that practice, but Donald Trump isn't doing anything new here.
Yeah, so I'm going to address it. I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that.
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay.
Get me.
But
Get
continue.
me.
Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't mean to.
But she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing?
Let's
She's not on TYT.
Go, girl. Let's go,
But anyway,
Regina.
continue, Jane.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever pay attention to anything I'm doing. This is true. I will, however, say I did hit 100,000 on YouTube before I even invited Jank on. I've had a very robust career before and after my time at TYT, which I actually enjoyed from time to time. I did. I was at AJ Plus. I worked at MSNBC, had a special there. I worked for National Geographic Channel. I did like things for Coachella live stream. Don't kill me. It was a whole thing. It was fun. And now I'm working also with Zateo. So, you know, this is fun though, Emma. And so now I wasn't going to say nothing.
Can we pause there for just a sec, really briefly,
Sure.
so I can just address what she said? So so first of all, I appreciate your being very fair. Getting an election prediction wrong to me is different than like protecting marginalized people from an incoming president who has basically a far right agenda. I would say that's a little bit different. But yeah, I was wrong and people clowned on me. I take it on the chin. We're
Yes,
in
you do.
political discourse and debate space. And as long as it's not, I would say, bad faith, I mean, you get that from the right, but if I get it from the left, you got to take it on the chin. It's what I've signed up for. And I only really responded to Anna because I saw that video and you're my friend. She used to be my friend. And if she had been putting out continuously like content,
I mean, like the host of the ATP network, like she's my friend, and when people attack her, call her out her name unfairly. But you know, these days you defend your friends, you get called a something, you get called a token, you get called every smear they could think of, you know. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Luna wasn't bad faith, to be honest with you. She was. You know, like I'm gonna let this play out. I think of it.
that I think is making the world better. I would defend her if the roles were reversed, and you were saying that about her, but that time has passed. And when she said no one would pay attention to you if you weren't talking TYT, that got me really angry because a lot of us are really, like, I consider myself extremely lucky that I lucked into an internship with TYT, and I was able to work up at the company again for little pay, as I've talked about, and I know you've experienced, a lot of other people have as well. I was able to live at home during that period and save up and, you know, live in mom's house, who she's now bringing into this debate for no reason, because of private conversations that we've had. But I just feel like you are so talented, and
You know, you talk to people because you think they're your friends, right? You talk to people about the private stuff, you know, stuff that should not be on Twitter at all. And then the motherfuckers gonna expose your shit to the public. That don't look so bad. Like I person like lying on, you know, majority report saying they played King Harris eggs and shit like that. It's wild, but just wanted to say this. I'm gonna let it play a few more minutes, but he is imploding, and you know, Jake knows that what they doing is not a good fit. You know, I believe they are smart people, right? You know, I'm not the guy to call people smart, you know, like that a lot, but come on, let's just keep it let's just keep it 100 here, man. Like somebody call you out on your bullshit, like as a critique, not a smear. It's give you a smear of critique, and you're going to all them attacking you and you saying without TYT they wouldn't be shit. Like I said, Franny, like she had a career before TYT. Before she came to TYT. Even she said like on her YouTube channel she had 100,000 subs before her, which is 100,000 subs. But even before the interview, like she didn't have to talk about this at all. But yeah, this is what people do when they know they're wrong. They always, they always be the victim. So,
And I got to Michael Brooks passed away, and there was a spot open, horrifically, a spot open for me at the Majority Report. I was lucky.
Sure.
I could be in a different industry if that didn't happen. You have had sometimes bad luck, like with AJ Plus and stuff. I mean, it's
no,
just,
I really didn't actually. I just am allergic to money, Emma. Just don't worry about it. I left AJ Plus. AJ Plus
you're so
offered
deserving,
me.
and it's
AJ
just,
Plus offered me in 2018 when they were moving to DC a very handsome salary that I turned down because I had been there for at that point 4 years and I wanted to move on, and I wanted to move to LA. So that's what happened to me. And I moved to LA not for TYT. I moved to LA to actually like pitch more shows, do more comedy, meet more people, get managers and agents and whatnot. And I did. So that is, I've had a lot of luck, and I've also turned a lot of shit down. So I just want to name that. But I really, here's what I love
Fair
about
enough.
this. Here's what I love about this. I have tried for so many months, Emma, to not put these people's names in my mouth. To not talk about them, to hold my tongue, to refrain from talking about it. And as someone who also watches the Majority Report, I actually know you and Sam have taken also great lengths, but that the broader left audiences on platforms like YouTube and elsewhere are distraught. They are upset. They see the coverage of crime and homelessness and blaming fires on, some unhoused guy that totally turned out to be false, and the Aurora, Colorado, gang takeover, and the DEI when talking about the FAA and the crash recently, on and on and on to the thing up to Trump. And they are upset, and they are.
wow, the plane crash. So Trump right there. Trump said the same shit. He said he blamed Democrats and DEI on the plane crash in DC. But they're not right. But you obviously are capitulating to the right by saying that, right? That's like me saying some shit like that on Twitter, like that's why the wildfire started. It's the homeless. You say too. It's talk about this shit either. Like I love to talk about like the Jake Allen shit. I didn't want to talk about them either. I love to talk about theory a little bit. Get into a little theory because people just so infatuated with theory, but whatever. But I want to talk about other things, working class issues, like stuff I really want to talk about on here. But yeah, it's a lot. She didn't need, but she didn't need popular. Like she's doing something on YouTube and like, yeah, yeah, she's full of shit. Yes.
Livid. And so what I decided to do was to talk to Cenk. And to be full disclosure, also agreed to talk to me. However, she had a family emergency. And I said, dude, You take care of that. Do not come on my show. I wish you the best. Good luck with that. And that week she went on Glenn Beck's show. So anyway, be that as it may, I don't think I'm going to be getting her back on the show. But the reason I just want to thank you because you cut strays from me, speaking of making it super personal. But I just want to say, Emma, none of this is personal with TYT. None of it is. It's like it truly for me. I'm actually I think Anna and I have been like friendly, you know. We took a hike a couple times, but none of it was personal. It's always about the politics for me. And it gotten to the place, which honestly, I really do still welcome her to actually hear her out. But because I want to know, why are we covering things like this? Why are we talking about things like this? Why are we focusing on these small granules that miss the forest for the trees? Is it because ultimately you've never been a progressive? Is it because ultimately you are kind of a centrist? That you might be left on certain issues like corruption or, you know, capitalism and whatnot. Although, you know, Cenk, TBD on union rights. But that ultimately, when it comes to things like unhoused people, crime, you believe the right-wing narrative. When it comes to undocumented people, you believe that you should plaster the face of an undocumented mentally ill man who was falsely accused of starting a fire, the Kenneth fire, which was not the Palisades fire or the Eaton fire, in the middle of this wildfire. You believe in plastering that person's face on your Chiron and when he has not been charged, and blame homeless people like crazy ass Mel Gibson. That is a political disagreement.
Right.
This is not personal, and it sure as shit is not about clicks, because let me say, the amount that I could say and choose not to when both she and, let's bring the cart back in, and Cenk are on a little bit of a war path against.
You know, like, you can tell, man, like she sounds really emotional talking about this. Like she said herself, like she didn't want to talk about this shit. Like, but again, it's like it comes to a point in time, like you sound like fucking Ben Shapiro on a Sunday morning. Like blaming, like needs to blame the most explicit people on issues like homeless people. Oh my God, man! Like, wait, his reputation is done. Like, it's done. Like, wondering, look good in this. It just, I mean, it's like, yeah. Like, I had like your Freddie was saying that too. Like, she said, like they seem more centrist. Like, I never looked at them like that. I'm watching TYT back when I was starting to get into this stuff, but yeah, like like they love on pollution, I guess, like shit like that. But it's a bunch of centrist, like centrist Dems. Not well. So Anna, she's on the line, so well that means.
Every single person they used to work with, that we know, that we love, that we like.
Yeah.
David Dole, for example.
Yeah.
Mike Figueredo, like all these other people, to say nothing of former employees. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to chew on there. You know, I will even say we try to avoid it as well. I mean, we clip everything. Perhaps they were upset about the fact that it was clipped when we had an IM or a call. But, you know, at the end of the day, as I was saying, they're adults. We're in the political debate and discourse space, and you've got to be able to take the heat and have the better argument. And based on their view counts, it doesn't seem like people think that they have the better argument anymore. So they...
You didn't have thick skin to be in this space, and apparently they fifis got ruffled because they former constituents call them out on their bullshit. I mean, you still in this space, man. Like, even if you don't like it, even though you don't like the critique or something, you still gotta have thick skin. You know, do what Francesca did. Like, and then like what Francesca said, instead of smearing her, Anna, especially, like you could have brought her on to TYT. I appreciate you I don't feel like the live show. Like, you like, like that's more of what we need to do. Like, us like smearing each other on Twitter and shit like that. We all got fucking platforms, right? The user generated content, like platforms, right? YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Rockfin. Let's invite each other on and talk shit out. Like with the Marty B situation, like I shouldn't have made that live stream smearing him like that. Like Marty B, me and him was cool. We was close, man. But it's some things that he could have did better. Some things he could have did better. I'm not gonna say, he basically like we were supposed to do a podcast together and he, not doing a lot of stuff like other people is, right? But he's going through a lot of shit and I understand like I'm not accept the shit either, man. Like I totally feel you, but I should have, him thoroughly like how I shouldn't have played the voice messages like, I need to be really put, but I don't want to smear anybody. I don't want to do that. I want to smear when they fuck up, obviously, politicians. That's why I want to smear. I don't want to smear people that we agree with 98% of the time. Like, you shouldn't do that. And Anna Jank, that's what they want to do. Like, Flonnie didn't smear them at all. So, yeah, it's, man.
Choose to go after people on Twitter for engagement. And as you say, I, of course, could use information that I know from my personal relationship with Anna and friendship, where we would have many calls and conversations. I could have chosen to use that stuff against her. I chose not to. She doesn't seem to have those scruples, but she distorted things about
you being an adult. Anna is acting like a fucking child.
My life, the fact that my parents were lawyers and I grew up with some privilege, to make a claim that I don't have to work for a living. The end of that, like I am privileged in the sense of like, I don't know if I would be able to have engaged with these ideas at such a young age, because this was an interest that developed when I was young, if I didn't have this incredible education that I wish every
people smear people for being like privileged. Like some people that grew up rich as fuck. Some people grew up privileged. Some people grew up poor as hell. I grew up poor as hell. But I'm not gonna smear anybody else that had it better than me. Like I got friends that parents made good money. Okay. Like, but they agree with what they don't agree with. Which to me that they have solidarity. I just understand that either. Like just a lot of things that needs to be aired out. This is probably why the left just ain't gonna ever get anything done on the West Coast. It's not. But let me continue, man. I just had to say that too. Like really, that's all you got to come back at Emma. Like she's privileged and and okay.
one had access to, or if I didn't have the comfort to be able to exchange in these ideas and not have to worry about like,
sure,
is there going to be food on my table?
Yeah.
But that's kind of where it ends, because ever since I've left my parents' house, I am making my own money.
The answer is you're not a lawyer. You know
paying
what I mean?
my own
Like,
bills. I chose not to be a lawyer. I chose to make this career.
So what you're trying to say is you're a class traitor, and we kind of like love you harder for that. And I think,
well,
let me say this. We'll give you an example. He's privileged. I mean, he is privileged, right? But he the unthinkable that you can class people want to do, but class traders more than anything, man. Like people that do, like a lot of people that are middle class or wealthy, y'all choose to fuck with us to like try to get coalitions with working class people. Like y'all bum my club, but again, like as working class, we shouldn't look down. We shouldn't put the eye on them. Like we need class traders. We need other people in the movement to make it work. Like, we just can't be in an echo chamber, guys. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, and like the way my sister's a lawyer, the way she lives very different than the way I live now. Well, she just started. Congrats to her, but it's like, you know, I'm really proud of her, right? And I could have gone down that road too, and but I chose not to, and I, you know, don't make as much money because of it. And my parents, they did well. They don't have the means to support me for the rest of my life. Like the amount of money that she describes there it's just a lie. And I think she's probably distorting a conversation where we had where I said I could have gone to law school and made a lot of money and not had to work for the rest of my life. That's something I would say.
Right.
But I don't even want to get into it because she discredited herself by claiming falsely right below that in this Twitter storm she was having well into the late hours of Saturday night, even on her time, that the Majority Report did paid ads for the Harris campaign, which is like, frankly, defamatory. I mean, it's if you want to go down that road, that.
Like I said earlier,
never happened or ever had close to, you know, it was never close to happening, and we would never do that, and people would probably notice if we did ads. So I was making a joke that like we did it in code, but it just is. It's bizarre to use, and I knew it was a matter of time because of how desperate and unhappy she seems that she was going to use our private conversations for her own ends. But again, I hate making it about myself. I don't talk about my family life. I try not to. I don't mention my fiance's name publicly. I try not to say my friends' names publicly.
Matt Lee.
I take my privacy extremely seriously. And she knew that, but she still chose to put me on blast anyway because it feeds into an existing right-wing meme about who I am. But I got to stop talking about myself because it's really about them. Sorry, Francesca.
No. I mean, you didn't need to do all that, but it's fine that you did because again, it was you were personally attacked by her. I'm not going to throw up the tweet, but to continue a little bit and to close, I think the other thing that's very revelatory for me and has been very upsetting, and the reason why I asked her to come on the show is because Cenk came on the show, and even though he had been making the rounds on right-wing outlets, Patrick Bet-David, and going, on to the TPUSA conference and wanting to have a beer with Charlie Kirk, he did come on my show. He did go on Mark Lamont Hill shows. He went on Brian Tyler Cohen's show. He actually faced some supposed, some leftists, some progressives. And instead, we have smatterings of where Anna's been over the last 6 months to a year to longer than that. She's been making the rounds on right-wing news with, obviously, these are obviously thumbnails. So I'm not saying this.
Right there, y'all see her girl, like, she's gloating like she like she's been, the left has been, I want this to like, right there on the screen, it's just grift, man. Like, are just solely grifters. Read what she say, and they accuse us, of being grifters, and I've been consistent, man. I haven't changed my stance on nothing. Like, but these people, 1 minute don't talk to the right, don't talk to the right, but next minute, the left don't want to look with the right. We want to look with the right. Okay.
This is exactly what she said, but she does make the argument that the left is the biggest problem and that they are the ones who've made her leave the left. What I Got Wrong with Glenn Beck, how the left is alienating its own people with Chris Williamson, who's sort of, again, standard YouTube mass account. Why I Left the Left with some, what are the health influencer Jillian lady. Obviously, got to go on Piers Morgan. Dems made a deal with the devil. Anna Kasparian slams her old party. Anna on why she's calling out the lack of self-reflection by the Dem side of the left with Megyn Kelly. I don't have a problem with calling out the lack of self-reflection from the left. I don't have a problem with talking about politics. I don't have a problem with talking even about some of the issues that, again, she thinks are, intractable, like, again, crime stats being up when they're actually not. Homelessness. It's like, whoa, what do we do? All these Dems are just getting their hands in the pile of homelessness services. And that's why, I am for homelessness services. These Democrats, that's why I'm voting for Rick Caruso. I'm telling you, it's okay to have these conversations, but where you are having them shows a lot about not just your ideology, but your willingness to sell your former colleagues down the river and the broader movement as a whole, because they're using you. They're using you. And are you cool with being used like that?
Well, I think
yes,
it's obvious.
It is. So like, no political ideology is perfect. Like, I think our problems is, I'm calling them out. Like, I think that purity tests. Like, I think it's too many purity tests. I think that, like, I think that that's a big issue. I think that's one of the biggest issues. Like, um, I would say this. Everything is nice like that. She's saying it as like we love the left likes crime. We like, open borders. Like they went there. Like that's none of that shit is true. It's like the guys that's going to loot the treasury now, thanks to Trump and Elon Musk, and and all these things. Even borders, like we need immigrants. We need immigrants. Like Trump is literally wants to destroy the economy. Let's just keep it 100. Like guys, like to pick oranges, to pick your food, to build houses, they're not going to work because they're scared ICE is going to take them away. But okay, but we'll deal with it, guys. Jeez.
I think that clearly, she's not on the left anymore, right? She's like unassociated or something, as like the announcement that she made. And so I don't understand why she has to keep pretending if she isn't doing what Dave Rubin, what other Why I Left the Left people have done in the past, which is essentially elevating your profile and going on these right-wing shows while validating all of their talking points and saying that you're representative of the left when you're not. Piers Morgan does this all the time on his show where he says he's a liberal, and then he says I'm
basically a liberal.
Right. It's a very, very lucrative way to operate in media. It's short. The shelf life is not great, and you may cash in. Like Dave Rubin has made millions, but his views don't do that well because he had to eventually admit he was a conservative and not the last liberal. So she's going down that path, it seems.
They were like, ew, why are you still gay then?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But what's upsetting is like, I wanted TYT to succeed. And, I want to try to find a way to elevate all these other leftist channels. They're doing such great work because this isn't a competitive thing. For me, this is a collaborative thing. And I really do want I believed in. That's why I wanted to work there and why I looked up to Cenk my whole life. The idea of a left network that would have the reach that how many million subscribers they have, that would provide. That's something that I was really excited about. But I think they really lost their way. They tried to expand way too quickly, took all that investment money. They hired a bunch of people. They tried to do entertainment shows and everything. And then it was like all these rounds of layoffs. I'm in New York. I'm on the road. I'm hearing, oh, they're not treating their staff that great. Oh, is there a unionization effort that's happening that they're trying to tamp down? Wait, why did X person get fired when that person was leading the unionization effort? Right. I'm hearing about these closed door meetings that are lawyers that are kind of intimidating folks. Mm-hmm. And that was around the time when I'd heard about this that I made the decision to leave the show, because it seemed to me that like there were some overstretched finances and also a lack of like real belief in a left-wing project. And I said, I learned really to trust my gut in that way. But I do just want to say one thing about that as well, is like, Anna also implied in that tweet that because we would be the reason that they would have to lay off employees, and that's why they took that policy.
Yeah, where is the Jesse Pittsburgh cash? It must have dried up quickly because apparently you're grifting to the right, which you think that right wingers is going to come onto going to watch your stuff. Working, man. Yeah, like, man, like, we think PYT, I think what happened is, Kyle Kalinske will defend Jank. He said Jank is a businessman and all that stuff. But, you know, I think, I think a mistake that a lot of like myself, I made this mistake too. Mistake that people can make, like, especially when you get a taste of like you actually growing and you're spending is small. Like you get big, you tend to get the big head, and then when it don't work out, you implode. Like that's what happened to me. Like I wanted all of these shows on the ATP network. I wanted everybody to have their own show, talk about different things. But I have to realize is that this is just coming from me. I ain't talking about him like that. Like staying small keeps not only keeps you more focused, it keeps you humble. I think I got a little bit cocky. Especially when we really grew, like we went from 200 to like 800 or some subscribers. Like holy shit! And then we slowed down because YouTube gave us a copyright strike because I played Breakfast Club clip, and I think they gave us a content warning or some shit. Because I'm not gonna get into that, but like that people did that, and now they paying the price for it. Simply. Um. So yeah, man, like almost done with this, guys.
Market sponsorship
Yes.
because other people have been critical of them. I'm just truly in awe of the inability to
Like getting sponsorships and you're supposed to be political based channel, like it's not anymore. Like TYT is not independent media. Like once you get investment cash, just because of cash, how could you sponsor? It's not independent. Like CP Network is independent. Like we get dollars from YouTube license even. Now if you get YouTube license, that's like yeah, you should get paid for your labor. Like this is labor. But I'm talking about like actually sponsorships where they pay you a good amount of money up front to promote their stuff. You're not independent. Now if you're only you sponsored by Lucas Oil or some shit like that, that's different. Like you're a con channel, you're not political, but yeah, like TBT, it's not independent. I had to say that too as well.
self-reflect or take a step back from one's own ego to say that it's everyone else around them that's the problem. Everybody else is just trying to make money off of them. Everybody else is grifting. It's not us. We don't have to look internally about our own decisions and life choices and our own like extreme anger that's off-putting in and of itself for the show. Like I tuned in a few years ago and I was just like, I can't watch this shit anymore. They're just screaming.
I mean, you're talking to a stand-up comic. I have to have some levity, otherwise I'll die. Like
it's crazy. They seem very unhappy, and also it reflects.
They are unhappy. They're imploding. You can tell. Like Anna went off on this random Twitter account, calling her out about like the interview with Ben Shapiro, like not asking about Gaza and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they they're on edge. Yeah, they're not doing good over there at PYT, man. They're not doing good at all. And PYT did this to themselves. Like drifting has major consequences. And they're accusing other people of drifting off them. It's fucking I guess I don't know what left means anymore. Show on YouTube. And people gonna talk about you the fuck. You disagree with anything y'all say. Like y'all used to talk about camel toe, so TYT can't say shit. Oh gosh, what was doing this, guys?
Flexing their coverage, and I don't know. I mean, look, again, I don't care about that but I hope they're okay. At the end of the day, I don't want Anna to be suffering. I don't want things to be bad for her.
I hope that she finds the peace she's looking for. Right now, we got a Thelma Louise situation, but there ain't no cliff. They're just driving around in circles. Like, I don't know where we're going, but they've made a blood pact. And like, I feel like we're along for the ride. And I just want to clarify, like, I've never been an employee at TYT. I've got another story for another time. There was a close call. I could have sued. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've never been a full-time employee. I get asked to be on and I say yes or no. I rarely say no. I don't think I'm ever going to be asked to be back on the main show ever. I think that was sealed. If not after I had Mondale Robinson on, if not after I interviewed Cenk, I think probably by putting out a Curb Your Enthusiasm meme, that was sealed. But I would love to go on and actually have a robust debate like I've often floated.
We offered them too. I mean, Sam has offered multiple times and he says he's a grifter, which is.
I'm gonna end it right there. Yeah, that's wild. My thing is, like, you talk about somebody, but you're not man enough to go onto their show and talk it out. Like, why I don't understand why you won't. Now you can go on Mark Lamar Hill's channel. Mark Lamar Hill literally did kill your ass. Your ass too, but Mark, he annihilated your ass, but you won't go on Sam Cedar's channel. It's egos right there. I think Sam Cedar Sam Cedar probably get, I don't know how many views Majority Report get a good decent amount of views. But yeah, like, I see that's like any views, man, to these people, man. Like, it just, I'm serious, man. That's why the left should not listen to big personalities. They should listen to somebody like a Feeney, like, for example, or Rome, like those people. They don't look for the clout. That's to them. In terms of like people who live, like, it comes to them. That's what it's supposed to be. See, Jackie Anna, TYT, they want to be Trump chasers. They want to chase whatever, Trump wants. So yeah, we can pivot to the right. If Kamala won, we'll still say we gotta push Kamala left, which Kamala, even Trump said it would be just economic policy, which is crazy. But boy, 2 hours of this. Oh man, this is, I needed this, man. I feel so much better. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about the ATP network. Where we gonna go? Alone, aka Lucci, is no longer on the network. I decided to let her go because it's just a lot of drama surrounds her, man, and I just don't have time for it. I gave her a chance with the chance. I thought she when we talked, it's like she changed. Like she said, I'm gonna do better, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then it's like you turn around and look around, she's back starting more shit. So Provolone is no longer on the network. So on the network, as of right now, it's only me, Liz, Left Indy, which he should have never left in the first place. And Left Indy, if you're watching this, man, I want to apologize, man. I should have never picked Provolone over you. That was a big, big mistake. You are a drama-free man. All you want to do is what I do, speak truth to power. Like I don't want the ATP network to be a drama-filled show. Like, I want it to be drama-free. Like, that's all I ask for the ATP network to be. I ask for it to be drama-free. I don't, if like I'm telling the few people I got left. If you catch me slipping, if I'm saying something wrong with something, put me in on it. Like, I need to be held accountable too. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna say it sound perfect. Every move I make, what's right. I made a lot of mistakes too, but I'm at least I'm trying to be, the right. You know what I mean? And also too, he's there too as well. So yeah, man, just a 4 as of right now. Expansion wise, I just want to leave things the way they are. You're gonna see tea time. It might not be every week, but when we get a chance to do it, you still see the Good Faith Show, ATP Live. That's gonna be Monday through Friday. You're only gonna see the A&M podcast. Now I'm gonna upload the first 2 episodes of the A&M podcast on here. So A&M podcast, my 2 shows, and so it's 4 shows total on here. So yeah, man. Hopefully we got all the trash out of the network, all of the confusion, all of the drama. And I just speak truth power. Like that's all I want. I want, and hopefully we'll get that. So, all right, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling for 2 hours, which I don't usually stream for 2 hours, but it's really much needed at this point. On the bottom of your ticker, follow me and Liz or Red Note. Those are our usernames right there. And before you go, I know some of y'all might leave without doing this, but it helps us out in the algorithm, man. Y'all like the video, push it out. Like I've been giving my own efforts on here, man. So like the video, leave a comment, you know, and do what y'all gotta do. All right, guys. So that's the end of ATP Live. Andre Morton signing out. Have a